Hello, and welcome back to another Hexxit video. Today I will be going into a decorative mod using this hacksaw. I can't remember what the actual mod is called. I should say it here. Let's see here. Nope. Come on now, you can do it. Immibis Core. Immibis Core. I can't pronounce it. Anyway, it's a pretty neat little mod, and let me just show you what you can do with it. Alright, so I'm pretty sure it works with almost any block. So you put your block in, you put your hacksaw in, and voila, you can cut that block into little slabs. So let me go ahead and take that out. Alright, and I'll keep one. And you can cut that slab into either even thinner slabs, or you can make them into these little posts. And so for now I will do more slabs. Okay, and then with that slab you can make an even thinner little slab, or you can make sort of like a fence post. But we'll go with some thinner slabs now. That is the smallest you can get it. But now I can get these really thin little posts. I'll keep one of them. And you can't do much with it, but if I cut it one more time sideways, it'll cut it into the smallest that you can cut it into. As you can tell, you can't cut it any other way. Alright, and as you saw, the position of it depicts how you cut it. That is very important to keep note of. Alright, now another cool thing about this mod is it gives you sort of a GUI when you're trying to place a block, as you can see here. Now if you see the little block there, it's separated into different portions, and depending on which one of those portions I am pointing at depends on how it is going to lay when I place it. And so if I just face it center, there we go. Alright. And they will even merge with themselves in a certain block space, so I can make a little chair. Or I can even make a little box if I do it right. There we go. It is a little tricky. It has a specific way of calculating where you're looking and how to place what you have to where you're looking. And so you can make little boxes and stuff. And then here's, I think this is the thinner one? No. Here's the thinner one. And then there's these big slab ones. Ooh, those are half. These are probably something that a lot of people would love in vanilla Minecraft, is a vertical half slab. And voila, you can use this for that. Or you can just use it for a typical slab. And you can even create a chair, a stair with them. Or a chair, however you look at it. But this lets you create a staircase out of any material that you want, even materials that typically do not stair, like regular stone or even wool. So then you can have a carpet that kind of goes upstairs, runs down a staircase, so to speak. So this is very nice for decorative purposes. This is an amazing mod for this sort of thing. And this is an old mod. And there are newer versions of mods that do the same thing. One which I can think of right now is the Forge Micro Parts Builder. I think that's what it's called. It also lets you be able to craft a saw and craft smaller parts using different blocks. Okay, and these recipes will not show up in the NEI. Although in the newer version it does, and it'll just spam your NEI with a bunch of variants of different blocks that you can cut apart. Although that does show you what you are able to cut apart. So there is a benefit to it. Alright, and as you can see with these little posts, when you put it in the center, it will make it like a center post. If you put it there, you can now put a center post again in the center, on either side, and with this technique you can create a little fence. Now, just one small problem with it is when you're wanting to turn your fence, it does not look too well because it will stick out on both ends. So it will look a little spiky on the corners, but it depends on what kind of look you're going for. But for the most part, it looks alright. It blends in quite nicely, especially if it's just a rough looking fence like this. If you're wanting something that's a bit smoother, something more designed and elegant, I don't really recommend it. I recommend just using normal fences if that suits what you're building. Okay, and then you have these little spots. These are called cover corner spots because you can only place them in corners. Now let me show you where this would come in handy is, let's say you are trying to put something vertical here. You gotta face it weirdly. Sometimes you gotta place blocks in order to place these vertically. Once you get one of them vertically though, you can just face right at it and it'll go ahead and fill in the other corner with it. And so voila, you can get 4 corner posts pretty easily. Now you can just put these little dots on top of it to make it a little taller. Or if you're wanting decorative purposes, you can put a different wood or a different block on top of them. So it really depends on what you're doing, but it allows you to add little corner piece to fill in. Also good for, let's see here. Let me see if I can get a good spot to show you this. Alright. One thing that I've used these for before are, if you're wanting to make a little frame, I'll use a different material so then you can greater see the contrast that I'm trying to show here. Alright, and here we go, the little crafting recipe. And there's no real easy way to get these pieces in creative mode. You have to craft them like you would in survival. So it makes it very practical for survival, not so much practical for creative. But the creative aspects of this mod are just amazing. And so voila, I made a little frame. And these actually are really nice to go with an item frame. As you can see, my skin isn't loading, my internet is down. Alright, so voila, you have an item frame with an extra frame around it. Also, you can even make the frame even closer. And I've done this before with gold, making a item frame and then surrounding it with a little bit of gold to make it look very fancy and to really show off what item you're wanting to show off. Especially if it's something very valuable to you, very rare. Anyway, all around just an awesome decorative piece. Okay, that about does it for what all this mod can do. I guess I could go ahead and show you how I made a pool table once using all these parts. Alright. What I recommend is some spruce wood. You can use any wood. It depends on what you're wanting to make your pool table for. But to get your little fence posts, I don't quite know if you need these or not. I'll keep them on the side. Alright, I'm gonna need these. Probably gonna need one of these corner pieces. And some really thin green wool. I think that's about does it. Yep. Alright. Let's make a little pool table. When you're planning out a pool table, I believe you're wanting to kind of pick out 6 spots and go ahead and put your carpet down. Maybe keep these here. We can remove them later. Alright, now, what am I trying to do here? wanting to put a little spot right there. As you can tell, you can't place them vertically too good when you're trying to get them in a corner like this. So you need to place two of them and then remove one. Alright. And as we continue, now we want them to be horizontal all the way around. I think we can go ahead and remove these now. Alright, this is coming together quite nicely. Then we want our little corner pieces. Now it's not too detailed as far as like holes for the actual balls to go into or any balls laying on the table, but it is a nice little piece to have in a game room or something of that sort. And so voila, you have a little pool table. I've even made a pool cue rack before, and I even had each cue with a different type of wood, and I used a wool as a handle. So it had a color. They each had colorful handles and colorful woods. It was very nice, but I don't really have time to make it right now. This about wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed, and that'll be it.